I can't believe it. I didn't have my microphone on this whole time. I just heard you say that. Thank you. And here I
Thank
am
you.
live streaming.
Mhm.
Gotta be kidding me. What a waste of a morning so far. All right. Well, we were scalping in this area. There was a lot of good information in here, but not there now. Oh, yeah. I'm like have sleepless nights working on this boot camp. But day 5 is like, you guys are going to love it. I really think you're going to love it. I have empty charts in there. I go live showing you how to set it up. Then I have empty charts with pictures. And you have to take your time and decide where you're going to draw your trend lines. I give you time to do that on each time frame, and then we give you the answers. It's really cool, really interactive. You guys are going to love it. And I think after I'm done with it, you guys will have no problem or questions setting up your pre-market game plan. But anyhow, when I came in and set it up, we had already had this double top here from here and here. Yeah, so here and here, so I set mine up like this. We had the top of the range, the bottom of the range, and then we made that no trade zone right here, which is, again, you just basically want the meat of it, the 50% mark between the top and the bottom of the range. But we'll cover that in a few minutes. I got like 9 more minutes here of live trading. So let me go ahead and see if we can't get another scalp in here. If we can come up here, we'll sell that one. And I'll put another one just above there to short it back down. And again, you know, scalping like this on each bar, it's all about adjusting your things. And I really wish my microphone was on because I just discussed the whole entire thing in this area. But that's what you get. My girls were in here getting ready for school. So I think I shut it off before that and forgot to turn it back on.
Order filled.
So there's one fill. Let's see if we can get that second fill or if we're just going to get filled for the profit.
Order filled.
Yep, there's the profit. Not even sure what my parameters are right now. $25 it looks like. So now that we didn't come all the way up there, right? Our RSI is oversold. We're oversold on the 5-minute on the projection oscillator. We're at the 50% mark on both. And yeah, so now we're going to cancel this out. The bar is too old now. We don't have a fresh bar. And again, are we going to just do this right now? All right, there's our trend line. Are we going to... and then come right off the trend line? But outside of that trend line, we have this other trend line. All right, we marked this trend line off earlier. We broke out of it. We pulled up to it, right? So now, should we be looking for the downside? Not necessarily, right? Why? Because we're still in the overall range. Okay, just because we broke this trend inside of a range, you know, it's a possible now that we could be looking for more of a pullback, but we got earnings, right? We got morning earnings today. That's great. Not much on deck on the economic calendar. Thursday, we're going to have a major economic calendar. But again, now, what I was saying this morning, you guys weren't here and it's not recorded, is if, let's say, earnings today come out great, right? Better than expected. That might not be such good news for the market. Can you guys tell me why? Go ahead, turn your microphones on. We'll talk. Can you guys tell me why, if we have really good earnings, why that might not be good for the market, and we'll probably see a sell-off instead of a blast-off? We might get to that initial blast-off, but why do you think it might not be good for the market if they come out with killer earnings? Do you guys know? Anybody? Russo, Bacci? And don't worry if you don't, okay? I'm throwing it out there. Anybody on YouTube, sorry I didn't have my voice on.
I don't know.
Okay, so because we have the Fed, the interest rates, right? So if the economy, if these companies start reporting major earnings, right, how is the Fed going to take that? The Fed's going to say, okay, well, great. Inflation you know, it's really not that bad. So now what are they going to do? Now they're going to be looking to raise those interest rates, whoo, through the roof, right? Not through the roof, but they're going to be looking to up the game because these companies are reporting better and stronger numbers in a bad recession, quote unquote, economy, and vice versa. So if these numbers come out really bad, that might be super good for the markets today, because vice versa, instead of the other way around, now we're looking at the other side of that from the Fed's perspective. Now the Feds might come out and say, all right, well, you know, these people are losing money. They're reporting worse than expected earnings. All right, it's really bad. We now need to loosen our numbers, right? We need to ease up on our quantitative tightening or whatever you want to call it. So these are the things that, you know, you'll learn as you grow, but start learning them now, okay? So even though there may be good earnings, it's not going to be that good for the markets, okay? And if they have bad earnings, that might not be good for the markets either. I mean, that could be good for the markets, okay? So you want to make sure that you're in check with the overall economy, right? You always want to pay attention to the interest rates and the Feds and all that stuff. I know you said they're not talking right now, but whether they talk or not, you know, traders know, not all traders, but informed traders, you know, and your hedge funds, your prop firms, you know, smart money knows what's going to happen, right? If the earnings are really bad, we can expect to see a rally, because that means most likely the Fed's going to start easing its restrictions. If we see bad numbers, right, or good numbers, then that could be bad, because that's going to allow the Fed to start, you know, ramping it up even more, right? They feel they can turn the pressure on more because, you know, these companies are still making money, right? And it's not their objective or their goal to, you know, crash the whole economy, but that's the way that they're going to look at it. Okay, when you've been doing this long enough, you get a grasp on that, and you start to feel for it, right? So other traders won't understand that, right? And if earnings come out good, they're going to be looking to buy all day, and they're not going to know why it's going down. Well, it's going down because the smart money understands how the economy works and how the Fed reacts to earnings. All right, so earnings play a huge role in the Fed's decisions, right? So if the overall earnings throughout this whole earnings season are nothing but positive, well, then you can look for the Fed to start tightening restrictions even more and raising those rates faster than expected. So just always keep that in the back of your mind, right? You want to learn to understand the fundamentals and what actually moves the markets, right? Because it's not just Wall Street bets like everybody going short or long and that they think that's what's moving the markets. That's what's killing traders. If that makes sense. So, all right, let me cut this video off and I'll